Hello BGMI warriors, welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the world of BattleGrounds Mobile India, also known as BGMI. I am your host, and today we have an exciting topic to discuss, which is how to spot enemies easily in BGMI and some effective strategies to analyze their movements. So, if you're ready to level up your game, let's dive right in. Before we jump into the strategies, let's talk about the importance of spotting enemies in BGMI. Identifying opponents quickly gives you a significant advantage, allowing you to plan your moves, take cover, and engage in combat more effectively. So, let's get started with our first strategy. Observe your surroundings. The first and most crucial strategy is to be observant of your surroundings. Pay attention to any movement, sounds, or visual clues that might indicate the presence of an enemy. Here are a few things to keep in mind. Sound. Listen for footsteps, gunshots, or vehicle noises. These audio clues can help you pinpoint the direction of your opponents. Visual clues. Look for open doors, broken windows, or looted buildings. These signs suggest that an enemy has been in the area recently. Movement. Scan the horizon and keep an eye out for any suspicious movements, such as players running, crouching, or prone in the distance. By being aware of your surroundings, you'll be able to spot enemies more easily and react accordingly. Let's go for some examples. Imagine you're in a house, and you hear footsteps outside. By listening carefully, you can determine the direction of the sound and estimate the distance of the enemy. This information will help you prepare for a potential encounter. Another example for this strategy is, let's say you enter a building and notice an open door and a few items missing. This indicates that someone has already looted the place. Be cautious, as there might be an enemy nearby or even camping inside. Utilize the mini-map. Moving on to our next strategy, utilizing the mini-map and map knowledge. The mini-map is a valuable tool that can provide you with crucial information about enemy positions. Here's how you can make the most of it. Map awareness. Familiarize yourself with the map layout and key landmarks. This knowledge will help you identify potential hotspots where enemies are likely to be present. Red dots. Keep an eye on the mini-map for red dots, which represent enemy gunfire. This information can help you determine the general direction of enemy activity. Team communication. Coordinate with your teammates and share enemy positions on the mini-map. This collaborative effort will enhance your overall situational awareness. Overall, by utilizing mini-map and map knowledge, you can easily spot and eliminate enemies. Understand player behavior. Moving on to our next strategy, understanding player behavior and patterns. By analyzing how players typically behave in BGMI, you can anticipate their actions and spot enemies more effectively. Here's what you need to know. Hotspots. Familiarize yourself with popular hotspots on the map, such as major cities or high-loot areas. These places tend to attract more players, increasing the chances of encountering enemies. Zone awareness. Pay attention to the shrinking play zone and anticipate where enemies might be coming from. Players outside the safe zone will often rush towards it, presenting an opportunity to spot them. Predictable routes. Study common routes that players take when moving from one area to another. By understanding these patterns, you can position yourself strategically and spot enemies as they traverse these routes. Let's see some examples. Let's say you're playing a squad game, and you're aware that the school apartments are a popular hotspot. By heading there, you increase your chances of encountering enemies and spotting them before they spot you. Another example is, imagine you're in a game where the safe zone is shrinking towards a specific location. By positioning yourself along the predicted route, you can spot enemies as they make their way towards the safe zone. Patience and observation. Moving to the next strategy, which is patience and observation. Sometimes, spotting enemies requires a keen eye and the ability to patiently wait for the right moment. Here's what you need to do. Camouflage and stealth. Blend in with your surroundings and move quietly to avoid drawing attention to yourself. By being patient and observing your surroundings, you increase your chances of spotting enemies who might not be as cautious. Scanning the horizon. Take the time to scan the horizon and observe any movement or anomalies. Sometimes, enemies might be hiding in plain sight, and a careful observation can reveal their presence. Tracking loot drops. Keep an eye on loot drops or supply crates. These areas often attract players, and by patiently observing from a distance, you can spot enemies as they approach the loot. Let's go for examples. Let's say you're in a game where you can use camouflage to blend in with the environment. By patiently waiting in a well-concealed spot, you can spot enemies who might not notice your presence, giving you the element of surprise. Another example is, imagine you spot a loot drop in the distance. Instead of rushing towards it, you patiently observe from a safe distance. This allows you to spot enemies who might be approaching the loot, giving you an opportunity to engage or avoid them. Utilize scopes and optics. Our final strategy revolves around using scopes and optics to your advantage. These tools can significantly enhance your ability to spot enemies from a distance. Here's what you need to know. Zoom in. When you have a scope or optic equipped, use the zoom feature to scan the environment carefully. This will help you spot enemies that might be far away or hiding in bushes or buildings. Focus on movement. While scoping, pay attention to any movement within your field of view. Even the slightest motion can give away an enemy's position. Use different optics. Experiment with different scopes and optics to find the one that suits your playstyle. Some scopes offer better visibility in certain situations, such as close quarters combat or long-range engagements. Let's go for an example. Imagine you're on a hill, overlooking an open field. By using a 4x scope, you can scan the area and spot enemies moving in the distance. This information allows you to plan your next move strategically. And there you have it, gamers. Some effective strategies to spot enemies easily in BGMI. Remember to be observant, utilize the mini-map, and make the most of scopes and optics. With practice in these techniques, you'll become a master at identifying opponents and gaining the upper hand in battles. And until next time, happy gaming.